Okay, so this is going to be my tutorial for Black Bolt for Slits. I'm just going to do this in practice mode because I'm going to die a lot, so it'll be easier to show stuff off, and since there's no mind boost like there are in Moby Swing, there's not really any reason not to. So I just kind of like run through and talk about stuff as best I can. For the opening strat, kind of like a Moby Swing, like basically I find it easier to TS left and side attack right. Eventually once you get to around this point you just kind of like side attack and do a short MTS to get off. Okay. Let's go restore on. Actually, I'm going to restart from the beginning. But yeah, so like maybe TSing right would be better, but I found like even if I do it, it makes getting up to the dive kind of weird, so first thing about the dive, I mean, it applies to Gallant too, is the faster you're going, the less, like, the worse the dive is. So actually, like, even on boost laps, you're not actually going to boost up to the dive. You're going to be going about the same speed, and I just kind of like side attack and do like a quick, well, if I hadn't paused, I would have gotten it, but like a quick MTS left and then side attack dive right, and then I stay on like the right side of the road until I'm pointed down, and then usually it detaches pretty well. I don't really have a way to describe it, but it's not too hard. Then when you land, you level out. You can do like a short quick turn actually. One of the things you actually do a lot on this course with Black Bull is like when you're MTing, you do like a short quick turn before you start the MTS, just to angle yourself. It's weird, like Black Bull can quick turn when it's going fast and it's MTing, but like that's the only time the quick turn makes any sense with this vehicle. I'm having a lot more success with the jump than I thought I would actually, doing this tutorial. But basically, if you MTS up to it and don't hit any walls, getting the jump itself is actually pretty easy. Usually it's just a matter of not hitting the walls that's the hard part, but MTSing like along this and then like into the hallways, yeah, see, like that's what happens if you don't get it. But doing that seems to be a lot easier with Black Bull than it is with Gallant. I'm not really sure why. I think Black Bull just has better like MTS control. But so yeah, if that happens, you'll end up down here. So what I'll do is, kind of like once the paths reconverge, I'll do like one big MTS, and then 3 side attacks, and then I'll like tap A, and it'll get me pointed on this path. Then like I'll hit this booster and take it for about half the time, and then start an MTS. And I'll chain along here using 2 side attacks. 3 is kind of hard because you like fly into the ice. If you can stay on the ice patch, I think it's actually faster because your MTSs are better on ice, but it's kind of wonky. So I decided not to do that, and I just go on the other path instead. Lining up to get onto this path is pretty hard. Sometimes you need to like cut the last MTS short and do like one more side attack. I don't know if I can really show it. Maybe I'll show it on like next lap or something. I mean, I'm sure it probably showed off plenty of times, but that's one of the things that's just like pretty hard to get, actually. It only applies on lap 1, because on boost laps you just boost up to it and then, you know, you're not approaching it like in an MTS chain, you know? But anyway, so. Also, regarding those paths there, on the first one, I don't really have a path that I aim for. It doesn't really seem to matter. I think the one that, so like when it splits, if you can be in the left path, it might be a little bit better. But the right path works fine too for getting the jump. I think I just most of the time end up on the left path anyway, because I don't know, it's just how the MTS goes. But if you end up on the right path, it should be fine. Okay. If you get along here, it's kind of hard to do an MTS, but... So, okay. So like that last one there, if I had done 2 side attacks, it would have put me into the hallway. And that's just one of the hard things about learning, like what to do. Outside of getting the jump itself, that's probably like one of the hardest things actually in this course. Also, sometimes, like right there, if I hadn't hit the wall, I was going fast enough, I could have gotten like a shift boost instead. So sometimes that'll happen, you don't get a jump, you'll get a shift boost. That's fine. Yeah, I should have done 2 more. Also, I don't need to keep resetting, but because I have restore on. So I guess I'll just continue on so I can like show off boost laps a little bit. You can also just like side attack turn like this. Like how well you like what you do on that first part there is just kind of up to you. Also, the kill plane for going too far on the jump right there is about where the booster is. So if you can land on the booster, you're good. But pretty much anything further than that is death zone. Okay, right there I do an MTS and then I exit twice. And then we can do on this ending part in the opener is you can actually do an MTS like that, tap A, and do another one. And then if you do it right, you can catch air on the second one. I'll try and show it off at some point because it's really cool to do. It's a strat I didn't really get to do in my PB, but maybe it'll work. Okay, so on... Also, that was a good opener, 33. On boost laps, like, you can actually chain like once or twice more into the start of the lap if you want. It might actually be better too, but then you're going to boost twice. You actually have to do a quick turn here. You have to do like a couple, which are weird with Black Bolt. They take a long time to like re-get grip, so after you finish the quick turn, you have to like let go of everything for a little bit until your grip re-grabs. But yeah, so you do two, because essentially, since Black Bolt has a 1.85 second boost, you get 5 boosts plus like a little bit of change to protect yourself from crashing into walls. But that little bit isn't enough. So you only really get 4 until basically you use the 5th one to boost leading into the first refiller, like by the ice section. But you only really get 4 up to that. You can't really use 5 or else it's really, really dangerous. So you use 2 before the dive, 1 when you land the dive, and 1 when you land the jump. Is that 2 boosts? Yeah, that was. So that's kind of quick turn, and then same thing, just MTS side attack that well. That was kind of a bad one. Lifted off too early. But yeah. So like you see my health, like that was only 4 boosts that got me down to that health. It's the wall crash. These ones on boost laps, you all exit no side attacks, obviously. Here, like, the first boost will drain in a little bit, but then you can boost twice more after that, so. Make sure you level out before you land. I mean, this is all, like, assuming once you're actually getting the jump, which took me a long time to get, so, like the first time I got the jump, I was, like, super excited, and then it, like, my consistency on it was still, like, super bad. But like once you're starting to get the jump, make sure you level out. And a big thing also is, unless you land perfectly, don't start your MTS immediately. Just wait like half a second for the vehicle to stabilize. Because if you start the MTS and then hit a wall, you'll like almost surely fly off. So when you land, just like, I don't know, do a quick turn or something, or just like land and don't press anything for like half a second and then start the MTS. But yeah. Oh, you know, I was gonna try and show off the ending strat. So this is probably about the normal speed. You do 1, tap A, 1 again. And actually, if you do side attacks, you can get a lift off. I actually started 2 there, I think, for a moment, but it wasn't quite enough. Basically, if you play the course enough, you know the part where the course first bends, where you fly off, if you're going like anything over 1300. You want to end the first one right after that, and then like start the second one like as you're in that. And then when you tap A, hopefully you catch air. And actually, yeah, I do like I tap A and I side attack left as I do it. But so anyway, left 3 stats again, boost twice, quick turn. There's an MTS into shift boost you can get right there. My consistency on catching air was actually pretty high, at least on lap 2. But yeah, this course in a nutshell. For some reason, I kept getting a lot of time where I would get it, and it looked perfect, but I just wouldn't get the speed from it. I have no clue why. So maybe if you try out this course, maybe you'll give it a shot. I'll show it off here. But like, let's say that was the beginning of lap 2 here. So you boost twice, quick turn, and then like there, but I would actually catch air. And it looked like I almost did there, but for some reason I just like don't get the speed. Yeah, sometimes you'll bounce and it'll ping pong. Okay, so like right there, I started the MTS too quick, so I like wobbled. But if I had stabilized for a moment, I probably wouldn't have wobbled as bad. I'd actually recommend not going for that refiller on boost laps. It's tempting, but like, it's so hard to get that and then get all the way over in time. Okay. That's the jumps looks like. I cheated a little bit because I was going a little bit faster, but boost, level out, MTS. Okay. I still haven't shown off the low jump. So, I'll show you what I'm talking about. First of all, you can also do the wall crash jump. I never figured out how to do it on purpose, but like the one that you do with Gallant. It definitely happened to me on accident, especially at first. And it works just fine with Black Hole too, so don't worry about it if you do that. Oh yeah, and then quick turning that and like leading to the refiller will actually start to feel pretty natural after a little bit. It's kind of weird, but works out pretty well. But sometimes you'll land like if you don't get actual like height, you pretty much get like a shift boost jump. You'll land like around, I don't know, here or so. So sometimes if you land there, it's kind of hard to like turn in time and then get over. But anyway. This course has a lot of MTS exits that you don't side attack for, like all the ones in here, especially on boost laps. Also, you can exit that one on the opener without side attacks either. It'll be like a lot cleaner than trying to side attack out of it, but slower. So it's up to you. See right there, like that's what I kept talking about. Like that was a perfect MTS into shift boost with the balance and stuff, and it just like I don't get the speed. But maybe if you play around with it, maybe you'll have some success. It's like, it seems like it's like one of the easiest MTS into shift boosts I've ever seen, in terms of just like, you don't need to be going very fast to get it. Like, it's just right there. But I don't know. So I don't know. Maybe you can do that strat anyway, and like not even expect the shift boost, just in terms of like getting your angle lined up for this dive on lap 2. Ooh. I didn't need to restart, whatever, doesn't matter. But there's probably a lot that I'm not covering. It's hard to remember like what to talk about. But a lot of it is just a matter of grinding it out until you can MTS down the hallways comfortably. Okay, so unfortunately, I had to restart the tutorial, or not restart, but like start from the point in it because the sound got like super messed up and it had like a ton of interference. It's kind of weird. Just like really like high pitched screeching, but I only noticed it like after the fact. But basically, like what I was saying from I don't know where I cut was like MTSing down these halls is a lot easier with Black Hole than it is with Gallant. So like it's not quite as insane as it looks. I don't know. You just get like a lot more time to just like you just have to like hold R. It also helps that like almost all of them are leftward, which makes it a lot easier for me at least. I kind of want to talk about like that quick turn at the end. I'll do that next lap. Oh right, okay. Something I didn't explain before. There's a strat for the end of the. Sometimes like if you don't go all the way over, you just do like 2 side attacks. Let's assume I was like chaining here. I can just like straighten out and then start a new MTS here. If you don't feel comfortable like chaining into it, you can just do that on the opener. I mean, but yeah, like I don't know, these quick turns, they just kind of like oftentimes just lead you into that refiller. Didn't really do it very well there, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll show it off. The thing about this course is like once you start getting the jump down, like if you can get it on the opener, then you're probably gonna, oh, okay. That's important. So right there, I didn't get to show it off when I did this before. If you notice my MTS canceled, there's a little area on the ground. If you go back and look at it in the video, where the like you can't really, I don't even think you can see it, but like your vehicle will catch air there sometimes if you drive over it while MTSing. So it broke my MTS because it happened. So usually you want to be a little bit further to the right if possible. Sometimes you don't really have all control, but like that's what happened to me. That's what killed all my speed. But yeah. What else is there? Alright, this turn. So you just kind of like do quick turns, and then it just like puts you into this. Like, it's weird. So sometimes like you might mess up, and I don't know, you like hit the wall and you don't make the jump. If you hit this booster and then boost once, and then boost once more, and then start a quick turn right there, you can sometimes get the jump anyway. It uses your last safety boost, but sometimes you can get a jump. I don't know if I've gotten like the full big jump off of it, but I've gotten at least like the low jump, surprisingly. So, I don't know, if you like fail to jump and are far ahead, and don't want to lose the run completely, you can go for that. Like, so many like massive mistakes can happen, and like you can still PV the black ball. That's stupid. Oh yeah, so that's what the low jump looks like, and you quick turn right and then MTS left, all while emptying. That was good because I didn't really get to show it off before. Oh right, I want to show off if I can get this better. The jump here. Oh. I'll try and show it off. Let's see what else is there. Yeah, so I want to show that off better. Alright, there's one other thing I want to clarify. Also, I mentioned before, you can get the jump from crashing into the wall, if it just happens. Let me see if I can get it here. Oh, I might. Okay. But you can get it just like with Gallant. I'm just not good at it because I haven't practiced it. Right here, just to clarify, if you miss it, even on boost laps, like let's say... Okay. Yeah, even on boost laps, like you just do that and then start boosting. You don't like boost as soon as you crash. Sorry about that anyway. Oh yeah, I can edit that out, cool. Okay, I'll do that. Last thing. I think that's just about everything. I'm gonna try and get the like big jump like 1 or 2 more times to show it off. Also, right there, if you want to go for that refiller, you can get it and do a hard quick turn. But quick turn with black hole sucks, so it's hard to do that. But I mean, if you get it, it's better because at that point you're kind of running low on refill. That was really good. I guess nothing. Okay, I'll just restart it. I want to try and get the big jump like once or twice more. But yeah, it kind of takes a while to get used to black hole, but once you do, it's super fun. Stuff just kind of like starts to click eventually. Oh baby, okay. So yeah, if you do that right, you can boost on your way down and boost empty to landing. So if that was an open, well, I guess that was a boost lap, so yeah, I wouldn't have changed as hard. But that was a really good jump actually. I want to try and get it like 1 or 2 more times, but just about done. Yeah. Unfortunately, the ground there is pretty high, so like if you don't get really good height, it's kind of hard to level out and make it back up. Sometimes you can, but sometimes if you don't crash but you just don't get a jump, you can boost there instead like I did. It's probably better. You only want to do that, like I was saying, like if you mess up and do like the opener strat, where like you do the 1 MTS with side attack exits. If you like just don't get air, but you don't lose your speed, I suggest you just boost instead. Like I did there. Yeah, if I don't get it in a couple more tries, I'll just kind of call it. But yeah, if you feel like you're not gonna like detach from the ground correctly, then strafe all the way to the right, off the course. Like right there, the course is like pulling me back, and I wouldn't have gotten the full dive, but since I got like past the course. It might be beneficial to like practice in, like if you want to grind out, just grind out getting the jump. Practice it in practice mode just so you have like boost, which makes I don't know, just landing with the boost. Ooh. Landing with the boost MTS will make it a lot easier to get the jump. And you can also like use boosts, like someone here getting up to the ramp. Or something like that, I don't know. I'm sure there's a good place for it. Okay, so that was like slow, but it was the full distance. I don't know. I noticed like I didn't have very much speed, but I did have a lot of height, so I was just able to level out. Might be an MTS into shift boost there too. I don't really know, but oh my god, that would have been sick. I mean, that was a good jump though, and I did it without touching the walls at all. I guess that's about good. Oh, I wanted to show off one last thing here if I can get it. If I don't get it here, then that's fine. But whatever. I wanted to just show off, like, if you were to get that on lap 1, basically you tilt down and land, and you just land and go straight into MTS chaining, and you just like start that chain with a little bit more speed than you would have, and it's good. Oh, you know what? There is actually one more thing I wanted to show. If you don't want to do the double MTS strat, you can just like side attack turn that the like final turn, if you don't want to MTS it. It's not too hard to do. I don't think so, if I remember correctly. It's like a little bit messy, but like if even if it is messy, it doesn't really matter. Let's say you're going with this speed, you can just kind of like, and that was like messier than usual, but like, I don't know, if it's remotely not messy, then it leads into it gives you a consistent like higher than max speed leading into the MTS chaining at the end of the lap, because you're going like, 12, 15%. I'm going to show it one more time. So all the way to the end of the lap again. Yeah, I mean, I wobbled like super hard there, but if you get it, I don't know, it's whatever works for you. Either 2 MTSs or just a side attack turn. But yeah, that's the tutorial. If you have any questions, let me know. Okay, not that I mean to keep adding stuff to this video, but there's one more boost strat I want to offer. Basically, you just boost 3 times here at the beginning instead of twice. And you don't really do much of a side attack dive, you just kind of do that. How cool. Well, that was me. I got to show off the wall hit skip on accident. I mean, I didn't land, but obviously that's what it would look like. I just missed because I'm dumb. But the advantage of that is it might make it a little bit more consistent to get a good dive. Um, that's what I was doing at first, and I found it was like I got the same dive every time, and I was pretty good at getting like the most speed out of the dive and stuff. Obviously, you lose one of the boosts, so the one that's least important is the one after the jump. I was kind of bad, so jump back early, but like even if you get the jump, like you don't have speed to land, or you don't have a boost to land it with. But yeah, I think that's probably it. So yeah, if you have any questions, let me know or whatever.